Person today, Mrs. Wainwright, our Principal Brown, our education officer, Mr. Wainwright, my dear friend, Mr. Wainwright. We trampled these grounds many moons ago. And Mr. McFarlane, the counselor for this division, Mr. Main just left a while ago. I acknowledge them. I want to say thank you to Mr. Brown, Principal, and the committee who have taken the initiative to welcome me here today. And Mr. Brown, I appreciate you, I appreciate school and the teachers. And I want to make a very special thank you to Mrs. Wainwright because she is my second mother. When I was here many years ago, 22 to be exact, she was always there behind my brother and I, helping us to move along in a very cautious way. Very good guidance, very good support as a mother. And I want to acknowledge her today. I appreciate you very much. I'm here with my little daughter, the princess back there. She's eating cake. And my grandmother, my grandfather couldn't make it today. She's all the way back there. One of my icons and my friends, including Mr. Swaby here. I met him 2010 when I started working in a school in Mandeville. It's the first time I ever heard about this place called Banana Ground. It's on the border, on top of a mountain, between the two parishes of Manchester and Clarendon. And then that's where we met. When it is very cold up there, it's very warm on the base of the mountain. And we loved it. We thought our skin color would even change. It would bleach us. The graduating class of 2017. I want all of us to pause and I want you to put your hands together for your teachers and for your parents. So put your hands together for groups of stalwarts in your life. And I said, I was here 22 years ago, and I remember them not so clearly, or some part. But I remember coming here sometimes, barefooted, coming through the shortcut over there, or along the other side. And we used to play on the road and pick plums on the trees when we could steal them from the trees up there. I also remember playing cricket, and Aaron and those people would remember these days too, with Mr. Gray. And I remember when we used to hit the ball on Mrs. Murray's wall, and she would come out and she would probably try to hold on to the ball without us apologizing for the ball hitting the wall, and then giving us a lecture about how expensive the paint was to paint the wall, so we must take care of the ball, and try to hit it right next to the fence. As if we could do that. Hit it right next to the fence. But I also remembered playing elastic, because we used to play elastic on the walls too. I don't know if we still do those things. I also remember studying. I remember long nights of studying and extra lesson. And because we wanted to do very well. We expected to do very well. And there are two things I want to highlight from my time in this building, this exact one. One of them is the poem, I Wonder Why, by Jeannie Kirby. I wonder why the grass is green and why the wind is never seen. Who told the birds to build a nest and the trees to take a rest? And when the moon not quite right, where the missing it be found? I remember that poem from second grade or third grade. And then the other one that I live by is this, and this is very important. It's a gem that I learned in second grade, I think. It's the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night. That has great significance for you. And your head girl read from the book of Proverbs this afternoon. She read about wisdom. Wisdom is that gem summary. It's a wisdom. You do not learn wisdom in school. Nobody can teach you wisdom. What we can do is to teach you the subject matter, like in math and science, in social studies and language arts, and teach you to read. We cannot teach you wisdom. No one can teach you wisdom. What those things can do in school is to help you to develop wisdom. And one thing that I associate with wisdom is this, that you gain your knowledge in school, and that's just knowledge. It's a recall of facts. And then you learn from experience. And coupled with that is understanding. And when all of that come together, then you gain wisdom. Wisdom is what will help you to choose your friends wisely. That Mr. Wainwright spoke about earlier. Wisdom is to know right from wrong and choose right. Because right is the right thing to do. So moving on, I want to share some facts with you. I tried to look up the history of the school for the first time in my life. And I found out a very serious part of the journey of the school, the building. This building was set up and built in 1945. 1945 was the same year my grandmother was born. 1945. 1945 of that same year is the end of the Second World War. And in 1945, in May, the United Nations was born. The United Nations is a body of countries that came together after the Second World War to say that we will never have another war, a world war, because we have lost too many lives. And they came together and they formed the United Nations in 1945. So this school was built on a significant platform, a year, and it's very significant, a turning point at that, talking about lives and changing of lives. So I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy to be right here with you guys, embarking on your journey, a new journey. To close off this one, you remind me of myself. You remind me of myself 22 years ago, when I sat in a chair just like you. And I tried to remember what the guest speaker said 22 years ago, and I couldn't. So I want to see if I leave a mark on you and choosing my words wisely so that they can stick. And then when you go on, you will learn something from me. Personally, growing up here is very personal for me to come back and talk in this institution, because growing up, I did not know my father. And many of you that I grew up with, you saw the smiles and everything that goes with the smile and the hard work and the dedication to education. And I didn't know him. I met my father when I was almost 20 years ago in Kingston. And it so happened that I called the meeting with him because he didn't want to know me. And when I met him for about half an hour, if that long. And when I met him, I asked him if he understands what he has done. And he said, a quote, "You're a big man now. Why you need a father for?" And I said to him, questions. Do you know what it's like growing up without a father? Do you know how many days and years it took me to be 19 or 20 years old without a father? Do you know that I've accomplished so much without you? Do you know what it's like to not see you around? You not going in your pocket and take out a change you give to me and say, "This is not for lunch." You don't know what it's like, but it's okay. I implore you guys, because most of us are in a better position at the time, is to not lean on those experiences so much, negativity. It's to lift yourself up and move forward. My theme this afternoon is fall forward. Do not fall backward. Fall forward. So I went on to taking the common entrance, and I did the common entrance, my second chance, because when I was here, the principal at the time told me that I couldn't be in the class because I couldn't afford the book. So I had to stay out of the class and then take the common entrance the following year. And that was another principal who came along and said, with or without the book, I'm going to allow you to take it. And that's when I took the common entrance and I passed. I was one of 3 students to pass common entrance at the time to go to Aboutnag Gallimore High School. And I was very happy. I was on top of the world. I thought nothing could break me. Nothing. And then I moved on to Aboutnag Gallimore High School, and it was a different world. There's so many more students, so many people, so many teachers at that, with different subjects that you will have to take, so many activities that you will become a part of. I was a part of the cultural club. I played football for the school. I move around with the environmental club, the science club, and so on, and in math competitions as well. We were very popular there. Right, and the year when I passed, in 1995, there were 2 girls, and I was the king among the girls who passed in there. And I remember seeing my name in the Gleaner, and I was very excited. I started shouting, I cut it out, and I was very happy. I don't know if they still do that. Okay. All right, passing through high school and then college. And the theme is I wanted to be good. I wanted to be very good. And I avoided many things because of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be somebody of value. Not to be successful so much, but somebody of value. So I made some conscious decision to choose my friends wisely and move forward with faith. Growing up, there were 2 things that were necessary. It's God, going to church, worshiping God, knowing more about God, and then education. Because there were the 2 things that could get me out of poverty. It's very important that you cling to education, because drugs will be there, but the most solid thing to get you out of poverty is education, because no one can steal your education. Nobody. Another thing that I wanted to do when I grow up is to be a living example for those who will come after me. That someone coming from nothing can become somebody. But it takes hard work and dedication and commitment and confidence in yourself. And when I became an education leader, and I found my way, I wanted to be the most effective one. I want to take a moment here to address my teachers, because teachers are very dear to me. Parker Palmer, a writer, and I'm happy that you love to use writers, quotes. It's very good and inspiring to me. Parker Palmer wrote the book, The Courage to Teach. And in that book, there's a first part. It's called Part 1 or Part A. It says the heart of the teacher. And he highlighted some important aspects of the teacher. He said that the book is built on the problem he sees with teaching. Mainly, the disconnection between the 3 constituents in teaching. And these are the 3 constituents: the teacher, him or herself, the student, and the subject that they teach. 3 of them. When introducing his observation that teachers have become disconnected from the 3 important aspects of teaching, Palmer begins his journey with the self. According to him, he said, good teaching requires self-knowledge. You have to know yourself in order to give of yourself in the classroom. And he said also that we can lose heart because teaching is a daily exercise in vulnerability, because we're weak creatures. To protect against that vulnerability, we as teachers become divided from what we study, which is the subject, and who we teach, which is the student, due to an overemphasis on the protective stance of objectivity. The objectivity in this stance is what you read and see and you study in books, and the ministry is telling you what to do, and don't do this, or else you'll be in trouble in terms of policy. That's the subjectivity. So we walk a very thin line, and we don't give students as much as what they're supposed to get, because we don't want to get in trouble with the government. And they will get you in trouble. But what Pargo Palmer is saying, a very educated writer, he's saying that we should take the chance and share ourselves with those students. Not too much, but give them exactly what they need to motivate them. Because if you hide yourself from them, you're wearing masks. And you put on too many masks and you walk around with them until all of a sudden they fell off, and once they see who you are, they don't like you anymore. And they don't want to learn from you. A genuineness. And two words stood out in that book is identity and integrity. The identity is what you are. What are you taking to the table? And the integrity is what is left of you when nothing is left. It's after you have gone through your own personal struggles, your personal life at home, and you have to brush it off. You come here and you teach, and you say, I'm not going to let this get me down. And you teach and you teach and you teach. And then you say to students, I want to share something with you. And you share part of your life. That's your integrity. So those are two things. By doing so, it risks you judging students on the danger of a single story. I was judged by a single story. I have been judged. And this is what I mean. When you judge your students based on their background only, based on their family type only, based on their class, whether they have money or not, only, based on their race only, and based on their appearance. If you judge them on that, you're judging them on a single story. You're not looking at the holistic person. And you see whoever, the student, as, oh, he's good for nothing, or she's good for nothing, because he can't spell a word to save his life. But you don't see that he's good in science, he's good in math. You have to look on it. Or he's very good at artistic work. Judging them on the whole story of the individual. So that's what we run the risk of. Judging students on a single story. And we get judged in our meetings too on a single story. So I want to implore you, teachers, as far as you're working very hard and giving yourself and giving off the self, try hard not to judge a student on a single story. Because if it wasn't for those teachers who did not judge me on a single story, I would not be here today. And to parents, one highlighted story. Has anybody ever watched the movie Zootopia? It's a little animated movie with a little bunny, and the little bunny wanted to be a police officer. Yes? You watch it? Good. Alright, some people are in the house, watch it. That story, it reminds me of what I went through, and I'm sure many of us are going through the same thing too. It's a little bunny, and the little bunny wanted to be a police officer. But the little bunny is from a rural area, farming community. And all the parent bunnies were saying to the little bunny was that, you can't be a police officer. Ah, please, just forget it. We're farmers. You're going to farm too. We're going to plant all the crops and everything like that. You're not going in the city. You know, you're going to stay here. And little bunny said, I'm not going to stop. Until she applied to the police academy until she got through. And she went to the city. But she hid a lot of the struggles from her parents because she didn't want them to distract her because of the type of parents she had. And I'm saying this to you, parents, your students are young, they're creative, they're imaginative. No, please do not destroy, do not kill, do not trample on their dreams. Do not. Encourage them. Encourage them. They may want to become the next scientist. Scientist of anything. An astronaut. A teacher. Politicians. Support them. Never try to kill their dreams, because they might make a difference. Who to tell? Maybe one of them sitting right here has the cure for AIDS or has the cure for cancer right here. But because we put so much negativity in their minds, they just shove it aside until later. They said later we're going to take care of that. So support them and help them to grow a very balanced life. I didn't want to be an educator in the beginning. I wanted to be in the military. And my grandmother told me that and a police officer, my grandmother told me not to go in there because there are too many guns. And then I wanted to be in politics. I was going towards becoming in politics because I've seen the policies that the others are making and to the detriment of our students. And I wanted to make a difference. And I said to myself, if I had gone into it, I would have made different policies in order for them to go to school and to succeed, to make sure that we balance the schools, to get good educators for schools and support the educators because teachers need support. We do need a lot of support. The bad ones are still there and good, and they're making some impact, whether bad or good. So why can't we encourage our students to become a part of it so they can change it from the inside? Barack Obama once said that the reason he went into politics is not to stay on the outside to change it. The only way we can change something is if we're in it, because they will never pay you any attention if you're outside of them. You change it from within, like a dye dropped in the water. So graduates, over to you. The theme for your graduation is the future is yours. Explore it. I want to tell you that you can change the world. You can. Each of you can change the world. However, the question is, what would the world look like after you have changed it? What is in your imagination of the world when you change it? What do you see in your future? Because many of us, you have a plan. I want you to consider these things that I'm going to highlight as part of your blueprint. Because you need a blueprint. You see, there are many of you, many like you, who have come and gone. And they have left their mark. And some were positive, and others we would want to really forget about them. Still, some who got their dreams buried under I can't beliefs, that they're born in the family that will not support them, as if you're born in the wrong family or you're born in the wrong community that has stamped you for failure or for doom. The thing is, if you believe it, it will become your reality. If you believe those things. And I want to implore you, here and now, to set goals very high. Set your goals, and I learned this from an astronaut who grew up in South America, very poor family, and he became an astronaut. And he said to set your goals to the edge of impossibility, so that when you try hard to reach those goals, whatever you have done on your way up to those goals to reach them, you will do so much for yourselves and for others that you will be so impressed. But if you set your goals low, you will reach there maybe by the time you're 20 or 23 or 24. And then you have nothing else to look forward to. And you become bored. And you may turn to something else. But set your goals to the edge of your impossibility. The edge. And try hard to reach them. That will help you to change the world. Nothing you want and is worthwhile in your life is without taking risks. And Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than one you're capable of living. Never settle. Never feel so comfortable that you become lazy in yourselves. And believe me, when you're poor, when you're growing up, and you're poor and you're digging yourselves out, it is hard. It's very hard. It's very hard to establish yourself and become somebody of purpose, but never settle. And a word of encouragement, because this happened to me over and over, but we never give up, is that you will fail many times over. You will fail. You will lose some battles. You will embarrass yourselves, graduates. And sometimes you will feel like giving up. But never give up. Fall forward. If you fail, try again and try again. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, he tried more than 1,000 times. And the next try, he invented the light bulb. 1,000 times. He failed. Fall forward. So that if you fail, you will aim again. Don't fall backwards. When I was in college, I almost dropped out of school. And I remember meeting with the principal. And she said, do not follow. So I called my grandparents and I said, you know, things are rough and I'm going to follow. And they said to me, you need to come home, you know, it's all right, and so on. So I said, what would I come home to? What is it that I would have come home to? Because everything else that I would have come home to, I already have. I need something else. I wanted to fall forward. So I said to myself, and them, I will never come home. Ever come home until I achieve my goal. Fall forward. Use your goals as guides when you fall forward. Because your friends will fail you many times. Your teachers might fail you sometimes. Find that one that believes in you. And tell them that you believe in yourselves. And tell them to help you to develop smart skills. Help them know who you are. Help them. And I want to highlight what Denzel Washington, a famous movie star, said. He said, to get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Moving forward, graduates, you're going to have to do things that you haven't done in your life before. And it's good. It's good. It's challenging. Work out there is tough. It's very tough. Anyone tells you that the world out there is a nice place, it's not. You might find the niceness among people. But it's tough. If you want to reach somewhere, you have to work hard. You have to ignore the criticisms at times. And you have to build confidence in yourselves. And push forward. When your friends or others tell you you can't, tell them, yes, I can. I can move forward. I'm going to move forward. Many times. Fall forward. The world as it is has many problems. Children live in poverty all over the world. Corruption in politics, dysfunctional families, lack of proper health care and suitable educational opportunities, improper use of technological devices, your smartphone always constantly on it. There are people also waiting for you to fail, to just move ahead of you. There is racism, classism, and prejudices of all type, and I've experienced them. In my environment, I've experienced all of them. But you have to ignore the struggles at times when you can. And when you can do something about it, you do something about it. People will hate you because of the color of your skin. They'll hate you, even because of your accent. They will. I implore you not to settle. And don't settle for your immediate environment here. Settle for the international environment. It's very nice. I remember sitting in the living room of my friend last year in Japan, and we were talking about dysfunctional families. And we shared the same background. lack of parenting, not taking care of kids. And we said, because he has a daughter as well, that we will be the best father we can to our little daughters. Because we will do what they have not done for us. So we do the opposite. So we learn from that. But in your development, guys, what is your passion? What is something from all of these things, the problem that the world is facing, what is one thing that you would want to contribute with your life? Find it and contribute to it. Is it that you want to do something about healthcare in government? Is it that you want to be a scientist to study for the vaccine for AIDS or a cure for cancer? Or one of those diseases that are detrimental to humanity? Is it that you're afraid of failure? And I would say to you, failure is a part of life. And failure will help you to learn. Failure is one of the biggest teachers. That it will help you to understand what life is. And this life is serious. And life is short. Life is very, very short. I remember when I was 12 years just like you. Just the other day, Mr. Wainwright will tell you. We remember when we were right here. Just yesterday. Yesterday. And look at time. It just took off in its own direction. That's one thing with time. It doesn't wait on anybody. It has no respect for people. Time. And you are probably thinking that you have time, and you don't. Each minute must count for something in your life. Each minute. You work hard. The struggling is real. Work hard. So what is it in your blueprint as part of your passion? One, a sense of purpose, a sense of self. Know who you are. Ask your people, who really am I? Who am I? What was it like with my grandparents? Who were they? Who were their grandparents? Find out your roots. Know where you're coming from. Know who you are growing up. Because you're young now, you're 11, 12. And you can ask those questions now. I used to ask those questions, and that's how I found out my background. When I was your age, moving on. Ask your family. Tell them to tell you who you really are before you move out there in the world. A sense of excellence. A long time ago, 300 something years BC, before Christ, a philosopher, and I love philosophy, named Aristotle. And you'll learn about him some more going into education and politics. Aristotle said, excellence is not a goal. Excellence is a habit. It's what you do repeatedly. Excellence. You see, like Usain Bolt is an epitome of excellence because he's constantly doing what he's doing best. That's